What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly wrap up with Councilwoman Jamie Torres and DJ Cons. What's up, Jamie? How's it going?
Good. Happy Friday, Cons. How you doing?
Happy Friday. I'm doing great. Whenever it's Friday, I'm doing fantastic. Never a question. So, hey, we're here.
I know. I told my team it's the start of summer almost because I got my first Slurpee of the year.
Hey, Jamie, is there a delay on your end?
Yep, there is. It's okay. We'll keep moving.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to the weekly wrap up with me and DJ Cons, where we go over what's happened in council this week and what's coming up. I want to start with a few updates from our council meetings. And the first one is that City Council supported through proclamation the renaming of Civic Center Station, which is right at Broadway and Colfax, to the Wade Blank Civic Center Station. And if you don't know who he was, Reverend Wade Blank, he was one of the co-founders of Atlantis and founder of ADAPT in 1975. And these organizations laid the foundation for the national movement dedicated to advocating for civil rights for people with disabilities. He was also directly responsible for the movement to ensure our public buses here in Denver were wheelchair accessible, and then later took that advocacy to support the adoption of the Americans with Disabilities Act. That was in 1990. So a really phenomenal individual and legacy and history right here in Denver that took place right there at Broadway and Colfax. So really excited about that. We will share a short film about the Gang of 19 to share some of that Denver history. And then in committee, we also moved forward both the rezoning of the Park Hill Golf Course and the purchase agreement. So if you have ideas for the future vision of this parkland, we're going to share a survey. I just did it myself. It's really easy and fun. And it'll be a big regional park. And so it's going to be more than just serving local needs. So what do you want to see at the future Park Hill Park? Maybe some things that don't exist anywhere else at any other park. What would get you to go out there? And so looking forward to seeing what ideas come through there. But to our updates, so Cons, food access is a huge issue, both for me and my district. And we're looking for some folks who are just as dedicated to serving the community when it comes to food.
Yeah. And what are you looking for, for that?
Yeah. So the group is called the Denver Sustainable Food Policy Council. It's a Denver board and commission. And they're looking for folks with broad, deep experience in aspects of our local food system, and want to find ways to improve conditions in Denver communities. So maybe you've worked at one of the food distribution locations. Maybe you've helped with community gardens and markets. Maybe you're an economist and you want to try to figure out how do we get grocery stores and markets, and really leverage the purchasing power. Maybe you're interested in actual policy that Denver can adopt to make our food system better. So they influence policy that fosters food security for all community members, and promote healthy, equitable, sustainable local food system. So we will make sure that we share that information.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And to be honest with you, like the policy side of it is something that I'd be interested in, getting involved in, because that's, like, we need to tackle this issue in our communies and address it.
We really do. Yeah. And it's interesting. Council District 3 doesn't have a lot of grocery stores, and we have a lot of small markets that are owned by community members. But we also have built a lot of gardens and farms.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things where if it doesn't exist because a business doesn't want to open up, our community will build it. And so we need folks like that who have been involved in those kinds of innovative things to come to the table and start sharing that, because we're probably not the only community that's dealing with this.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, community, members out there, like if you have a backyard that you could use for a community garden, open it up and feed your community. That's a good way to do it, and strongly encourage. You know what I mean? I would love to be able to do something like that. Just have a garden and feed the community. That would be a dream of mine.
Right? That's your retirement. That's your
Hey,
retirement plan, Cons.
game on. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. So, Cons, how do you interact with our Denver website, our DenverGov website? That's the question that we're asking community. So, it was just announced earlier this week. There is a survey out there to understand your needs and priorities. And feedback to help improve our digital services and online tools. So everybody's on their phone, right? Everybody has access to something like that.
Yeah, I could do that. Is it looking for residents? To kind of help out.
Yeah, 100%. So there's two types of surveys. One is for residents, and then the other one is for businesses. And it's just a really good time to give some input. What do you go to the city website for? I've often found the search engine in the city website really inaccurate, like hard to find. If I'm just looking for public health department, or I'm looking for Head Start information, sometimes it doesn't give me exactly what I'm looking for right away. And that's the kind of feedback that we need to hear so that we can improve. When you go in there, you're able to find exactly what you're looking for. And so it's not always easy to use, but we can start to change things to get it more up to date. And then
I mean, that's really key and important, because like, when you go to those sites and you can't navigate them, it's frustrating. Some people just give up and are like, I'm not going to go to that council meeting tonight. I can't.
No, it's so true. And you don't come back. So we want to make sure that we're keeping people because they can find what they're looking for. Finally, Cons, I know you're going to be here, but it's the 5th annual. I can't believe it's the 5th annual Cinco de Mayo in Westwood, 2-day community event, really recognizing and telling honestly our history. This isn't always a holiday that's celebrated by a lot of Mexican Americans, Chicanos, Mexicanos, right? But there is something to talk about here when it comes to Cinco de Mayo and the significance of the Battle of Puebla, while also celebrating identity and resistance and pride. You're going to be there.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, hey, to be honest, I'm going to be there. I'm there. I'll be in the corner playing some music, keeping the party going. But just let's celebrate the importance of what all this represents, what all this means, especially at a day and age like this where they're trying to take these things from us. Let's keep the tradition going. In 5 years, man, that's wild.
I know. And this is a message straight from the organizers. So in a time when our communities are so demonized and our culture is a commodity, speaking up, reclaiming our history, identity in and of itself is rebellion. And so this is a celebration. It is more than just an event. It's also our statement that culture, traditions, and voices are here. They will not be silenced, and they're going to be a part of determining our future. So I really appreciate all of the intention that Westwood puts into the Cinco in Westwood. Always live performances of music, dance, lucha libre, local vendors, a lot of family friendly stuff, art installations, delicious food. And I think the weather's going to really cooperate. So we got Saturday from 12 to 8 and Sunday from 11 to 5, right at Morrison and Perry.
Yeah, and Jamie, you couldn't have said it better. Like the celebration in Westwood is more than just a display. It is actually a true celebration of the culture. It's not just we're not just putting just celebrating it, because like this is the true essence of what the culture is, what our people are about, and just showing the beauty of it and community. Showing it's about community. So
agreed. I've got a couple shout outs, Cons. So I want to send my congratulations to Chris Rollerson. She is the executive director of the Sun Valley Youth Center, and she won the 2025 After School Professional Awards for her commitment and dedication in the out of school time realm, servicing families in the community. if you know Sun Valley, you know Chris Rollerson, and I just want to give her my congratulations. And then farewell to Michelle Jeske. She is our city librarian. She has been in that role for several years and directly responsible for some of the really great library growth that we've seen in West Denver with the Lena Archuleta Library branch, excuse me, opening up renovations that we've been seeing. So farewell, Michelle. Thank you for all your service.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the community that's doing something positive, and let's continue this. As we this weekend we're going to celebrate an amazing, beautiful community, amazing, beautiful culture, and hats off to everybody that continues in the fight and continues to spread that love and positivity. Because hey, that's what we're about, right? That's what we're about. Let's go.
Thank you, everyone.
Peace out, Jamie. Peace out, everybody. D3, have a safe weekend. See you out there on the block. Let's go. Peace.